Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we are doing a video on why Chapter 5 Season 3 is actually a great season. But before we get into it, you may notice I'm uploading this on a Monday, which is not a Wednesday or Saturday, which is my usual upload days. But I thought I'd throw an extra video out there for you guys this week just because you've been supporting me so much. And if this video does well, I might permanently do 3 videos a week. We'll have to see how this video does. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. So I know you guys are probably reading the title and you're like, this guy's out of his mind. A lot of people do not like this season. A lot of pros, even just random people on Twitter, they just don't like the season. I've seen a lot of criticism about it, even so far as to take the cars out or take the cars out of ranked. I completely disagree with that. That's like the whole point of the season. But before we get into why I think it's a great season, we first have to go over some of the key items in this season so you guys can understand kind of how this season works. Alright, so the first thing we need to talk about is Nitro. Nitro is one of the biggest things in this season you need to pay attention to. It comes in barrels around the map, just kind of on the ground, and you can also find it in splashes that are items that you can pop. You can also get it by driving through wheels or running through these certain wheels on the map, but for now we're going to focus on the barrels and splashes. So what Nitro does is kind of insane. For cars, they're faster, they're stronger, they take less gas to drive, and they do more attachment damage. So the weapons on them do more damage. For players, they're also faster. They can bash through walls. They take less stamina to run. So if you're sprinting, it takes less stamina to run, for example. You have a reload increase, so your reload's way faster, and you don't take any fall damage at all when you have Nitro on. So this item is super, super good, whether you're like running away from someone or trying to catch them. For example, if you're trying to pursue someone in a car and they're quite a bit ahead of you, but they don't have Nitro, if you pop like a Nitro splash and start driving, you'll catch up to them way faster than they can get away from you. So Nitro is a huge, huge thing in this season, and you need to know how to like use it and utilize it to be really good in this season. But it's an awesome item. All right, let's talk about some of the weapons. First, we're going to go over the Nitro Fists. So these are a new item. I think there's Epic and there's a Mythic. The Epic rarity has 4 charges. So basically, you can do an uppercut with these. You can do like a launch. You can launch yourself through the air with a punch. Or you can also do like a combo. If you're fighting someone, you can just punch them a couple times. These have annoyed me a lot because I keep getting killed by them. But I find they're actually better for mobility than they are for fighting. Like, they are really, really good for fighting. But someone could still kill you with a shotgun if you're trying to punch them. And there's definitely ways you can kill them with it. But I think you need to be a little strategic. But for movement, they're fantastic. If you have these in your inventory, you don't really need shockwaves. Because you can do like an uppercut and then punch across the air 3 times and you're basically way far away. Or you can do 4 uppercuts in a row and get like to the top of a mountain. It's kind of crazy. But what's great is the Mythic version has 5 charges. And we're going to talk about the Mythic version in a little bit here, but that's a good thing to remember. But yeah, these for me, I use more for mobility and I think they're awesome. All right, next we're going to talk about an item that you guys also really need to pay attention to. This is the Boom Bolt. So it's basically kind of like an RPG mixed with like a sticky grenade, but it's a bow. So you shoot explosive arrows that then stick onto things and blow up. These are the best counter for cars right now. Like, you could theoretically have a car and you're fighting a car and you try to shoot it with your machine gun or your grenade launcher. But if you have the boom bow, you're going to be at a better advantage just because it does damage to the car and it does damage to the person inside the car. So it's probably the best item for taking down cars right now, and I don't see enough people using it. So make sure you're using the boom bow if you want an advantage on other people. But yeah, this weapon is good for taking down cars. For taking down people, it's a little worse because you got to be strategic with it. But for taking down cars, it's really, really good. All right, now we're going to talk about the basically main part of this season, which is cars and car attachments. So cars have gotten more health. They also have more gas now because the whole season is based around like car warfare. It's a wasteland, right? So think of it as like a Mad Max thing where you're driving around in a car and you're killing other people, and that's what you got to think of it as. But for attachments, we have 2 of each category. So the first category is like gun attachments. So there's a machine gun and a grenade launcher turret. The grenade launcher turret, I think, is a little better for like taking down enemies and vehicles, whereas the machine gun is maybe has the upper hand in taking down like just enemies. But either way, I use the grenade launcher, but I've used both and they're both good. But I would say go with the grenade launcher for that. Then we have the bumpers. So we have the spike bumper and the cow catcher. The spike bumper is going to be more for offense. So if you, or offense, I don't know why I said offense. Offense. So if you want to attack someone, then you're going to want the spike bumper. Cow catcher is for defense. Both of them will rip through builds, rip through walls. So it doesn't matter which one you use for that. I think the cow catcher might go through builds faster, but I'm not 100% sure about that. And then there's the tires. There's the bulletproof tires and the off-road tires. I don't see a point in using the off-road tires. I mean, you could, but if you're using like an SUV, definitely don't. There's not really a point. So I would use the bulletproof. That's what I've been using. It just means people can't shoot out your tires, which means you have constant control of your car. And I think it's perfect. So my perfect loadout is the grenade launcher, the cow catcher, and the bulletproof tires. I think you're pretty much unstoppable with that. But there is something that can stop you, and we'll get into that in a bit. Alright, now we're going to quickly talk about some of the new healing items. So first we have the Nuka-Cola. This is obviously part of the Fallout collab. If you haven't played Fallout, it's a great game. Try it out. But basically this is going to give you health over time, and it's going to give you shield instantly. So this is a really cool item. It's pretty simple. I don't carry it around a lot just because a medkit and shields will do you, I think, better than having these. But it just depends on if you want to carry them or not. Next we have the cacti. So this is found around the map. You can just run into it with your car, or you can hit it with your pickaxe, and that's going to heal you for I think 30 shield or 30 health, can't remember. And then it's also going to heal your vehicle. So if you're damaged, and your vehicle is damaged, you can heal both just by running into a cacti. So definitely an underrated item. Don't forget about it. Just if you see it on the map, run into it. It'll do you really good. Alright, now we're going to be talking about some of the new bosses. So first we have the Machinist. The Machinist is going to be at Redline Rig. That's where you can find her. There is a 50% chance that any of the bosses I talk about are just going to be cruising around the map rather than being at their POI. That's also something that can happen. But basically, the Machinist is going to drop the Machinist Medallion. This medallion heals your shield over time, or generates shield over time. So this medallion's pretty good. And then she also drops the Combat Assault Rifle, which is one of the probably best assault rifles in the game right now. It's kind of ridiculous. So if you want a really good AR and you want to gain shield, go to the Redline Rig, get the Machinist Medallion, and you'll be set. Next, we have one of my favorite bosses, which is Ringmaster Scar. She is found at the Nitro Dome. Be very careful, because it is crawling with people most of the time. And I just realized I said Nitro Dome. It's Nitro Drome, but Nitro Dome would have been so much better. Anyway, her medallion gives you infinite ammo and a damage buff. Crazy stuff. But if you have that medallion with her mythic, which happens to be the Boom Bolt, you can just shred. Because now you have a Boom Bolt that can take down cars pretty easily, and you have infinite ammo. This is one of the best combos in the game right now, personally. That's what I think. Yeah, this is a great medallion. Obviously, having all three would be the best, but this medallion is also really, really good. Finally, we have the big boss of them all, Megalodon. He drops Megalodon's medallion, which basically gives you infinite nitro. So we talked about nitro already. This medallion gives you infinite nitro, which is crazy. But yeah, so you'll just have nitro the entire game. And he also drops the Nitro Fists. These are his version of the Nitro Fists, so they have 5 charges instead of 4. And like I said, they're great for mobility, great for getting away from a fight if you really need to. And with an extra charge, it goes super far. You wouldn't think that extra charge matters, but it actually does a lot. So yeah, if you can get those versions instead of the regular versions, you'll be set. Plus the infinite nitro lets you run super fast pretty much the whole game. So that medallion is also very, very good. Alright, so the last thing we're going to talk about before I get into why I think this season is so great is the boss cars. Now earlier, when I said that you could have a full kitted car and still get destroyed, this is what I'm talking about. It's not uncommon to get destroyed by a car that's not a boss car. Like, you still could, but you have a better chance of surviving. Boss cars are going to destroy you. They're infused with infinite nitro. So if you get a boss car, you have infinite nitro, and I believe infinite gas. So the gas is not going to go down at all. You can drive around the map as much as you want, and the cars can regen health over time. But with that infinite nitro, they're going to be faster, they're going to be stronger, and their weapons are going to do more damage. So if you want a really good chance at winning the game, you got to get a boss car. These can just be found at any of the boss locations. Grab their medallion, go down to where it's leading you. It'll usually be a garage. Grab the car, get out of there. I prefer the cars with the grenade launcher on them. So I think Megalodon and Ringmaster Scars have grenade launchers. And then the Machinist has a machine gun. But these cars are genuinely like your win condition. So you need to be grabbing them. And yeah, that's the last thing I'm going to talk about. That should be everything that you guys need to know about this season. But yeah, I'm going to get into why I think this is a great season now. All right, why is this season great? Why do I disagree that it's a bad season? First of all, yeah, everyone on Twitter who's like, this is a bad season, it's terrible, I understand it. There are 3 types of Fortnite players in my mind. There are competitive Fortnite players. There are Fortnite players who just hop on to have fun, and there's the people who can do both, who like to play competitively, but also like to have fun. And this season is the epitome of fun. Obviously, it's broken. There's so many things in this season that are absolutely broken. The fists, the cars, it's unfair. There's a lot of stuff that's unfair in this season, and you're going to get crushed by cars, and there's clips going around of people standing in a box and then a car just coming in and destroying them. That's going to happen. But it's so good to have a season where you don't have to worry about sweating on everyone all the time, in my opinion. Like, think about Chapter 1, right? In Chapter 1 of Fortnite, we had tons of stuff like this. We had the mechs, we had planes. Even in the later chapters, we had tanks at one point. Like, Fortnite is supposed to be fun. That's what sets it apart from other Battle Royale games. And I think the pros who are getting mad about, oh, well, this season is unfair and this meta is stupid, they want to sweat on people, and that's fine. But give the rest of us a break. Like, maybe we just want to have fun for a season. It's fine if next season we go back to being a competitive game. But this season, just let us have some fun. Let's, like, run loose and do whatever we want. I mean, the season is literally called Wrecked. Like, with a name like that, I don't think you expect it to be the most fair season. But the only thing I don't like about this season is the Battle Pass. I think there are like 3 skins in the Battle Pass that I like, and that would be the Machinist, the Fallout skin, and then the Bright Bomber. I think those are the only 3 I really like. I don't care for Magneto. I don't care for the other ones either. But this season is just really fun for me. Like, I've been having such a blast playing it, and I understand. I totally understand people who don't want to play this season. And if you don't want to play this season, that's fine. Sit it out. But suggesting that we take away the cars from competitive or take away the cars from the regular game mode or take away the fists or nerf everything, I hope nothing gets nerfed. I hope it stays exactly the way it is, because it is extremely fun. And yeah, if you want to play a competitive game, just sit this season out. Like, that's all you got to do. You don't got to complain about it. Just sit this season out. Like, it's fun this season. And if you don't want to have fun and you just want to, crap on kids and get your sweating on, then just sit this season out. But for me, this might be my favorite season of Chapter 5 so far. I've been having an absolute blast with it, and I hope you guys are too. So let me know in the comments what you guys think of this season. If you think it's garbage, if you think it's good, if you like the items, if you don't. And yeah, like I said, I love it. But with that being said, that is the end of this video. I've rambled on for long enough. If you liked it, give it a like. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Also, comment your opinion about this season in the comments. And if you want, you can subscribe. I'm doing a giveaway when we hit 100 subs, and we're really close now. So once we get there, we're going to be doing a giveaway. So if you want to help me get to 100 subscribers, go for it. I really appreciate it. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.